Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Town of Pownell Special Select Board meeting, January 5th, 2023, first meeting of 23 at 5 PM. Board member roll call.
Angie Rowling.
Jamie Percy.
Brian Harris. Oh,
Bob
sorry,
Jarvis.
Bob.
Oh, sorry about that.
Sorry, Bob, we didn't see your face. We didn't know you were in there.
Oh,
Mike Gardner.
Here we go.
here we go.
Hey, there we go.
Approval of agenda, public comment, preliminary road budget review and discussion, preliminary general fund budget review and discussion, executive for personnel, public comment, and adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Jinx.
Any discussion on the agenda? Anybody want to change anything? Are we good with it? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Jamie, I.
Bob, aye.
Brian, aye.
Mike, aye. I'd like to open it up for public comment if there's anybody, Hannah.
Jim just entered. Do you want me to give him a minute?
Yeah, give him a little bit of time to see if he has a public comment.
I think we're all set.
Okay, no public comment at this time. I'd like to open up the road budget, review and discussion preliminary road budget. Anybody have anything to get started with on this? Nobody has anything? Our road budget is, was it roughly $23,000 more? Is that correct?
Yes.
And that's due to earning, correct?
Right there at the top, like that.
Yeah.
It's wicked hard to read though.
Yeah,
It is
I know,
hard to read.
especially when your eyes suck.
874, 26703.
Right, the budget for fiscal year 2024 is $874,267.03.
As proposed.
That's as proposed. Fiscal year 2023 budget that we're working off is 852,392.
851,
851,
391.
sorry.
Read the light colored right above it.
Oh, Jesus.
That's
Do you have your glasses on? Oh, yeah, he does.
Sorry, I can't read the dark, I can't
That's
read.
the amount to be raised by taxes.
851,391 is the budget for 2023. The proposed is 874,267.03. It's about a $23,000 increase, from fiscal, that's the amount to be raised by taxes. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, anything on the road budget? The 23,000 basically is the insurance has gone up more or less, just so we can be,
Basically, yes, the health insurance did take an increase and we increased the other part of the increase is from adding the sixth person, because Bill works, we have the
okay.
gentleman that works here.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so that wasn't in the 2023 budget.
Okay.
So
Yep.
he's added in, and then an
I forgot
increase for raises, if you so wish, is also included in there, as you do every year. And those are the two main increases that basically covers it. Joel did increase some other lines. When you look at the budget, where the revenue is, where it says the state grants, culverts and erosions, we had put 200,000 in for this year, expecting the grant, but Joel doesn't, it's not going to happen this year. So we're not going to get it in. So we put it in FY '24.
Right.
Same with the 50,000 from designated, because we have to pay a share, and that would come from the culvert fund. And so that is put back in there also, because it won't come in this year, it'll come in next year. And then it offsets on the expense side. It shows that we're spending 200,000 on the expense side, 250. Okay. So it offsets each other.
Okay.
One of the things we took out was all the bus expenses.
Yes. And the bus expenses are out.
Yep.
Because there is no more buses. And What else?
Just so the public knows, when they were sold, that money went where?
Into the equipment fund as per voted.
Right.
Joel asked it to go into the
I just wanna
equipment
make sure
fund.
that-
Yep, that is where it went.
Good point.
Yep, nope, that's good. And I think basically everything else is pretty close to online.
We have a typo.
Oh, did you find a typo? Oh, thank you.
Did find a typo.
Yep, we did. I left out a
My
zero.
third time looking at that.
Yeah, and I've looked at it and Joel's looked at it. So under, on page 3, tools and hardware and supplies, I only put 300 in when I data entered it. It should be 3,000, so $2,700 would be added to the 874,267 to be raised by taxes. Because I did a typo in the expense line. So I will fix that. And, let me see, what number is that right here?
And I caught it.
2000-9100-20.00. Should be 3,000,
Not 300.
not 300. So that I will fix, thank you. I looked it over again today.
Well, it's hard when there's
I
so
looked it
many
over and didn't see
zeros.
that either, so.
No, thank you.
And I've gone line by line, actually.
No, we've
I
been,
apologize, because I have looked at it too.
Well,
I
look
know.
at it.
Happened to see.
Page 3, you've seen a lot of numbers, okay, by page 3.
but that's why we go over it and over it, and we will review it again. And if there's any other typos, we'll have to have another meeting and go over it, and you're not approving nothing tonight anyway, so. But I don't, is there any other questions?
I'd like to make a comment.
Yeah, absolutely.
On this budget. First, I really want to thank, Ellen and Tara and our department heads and whoever else has worked on these budgets to prepare, these budgets. First, I think we're ahead of schedule, right? Are we?
We're doing okay.
We're doing okay as far as getting this done. I'm pretty proud of the road budget as prepared, given we added another employee.
Right.
Insurance costs are not something we control. I think, but as far as this road budget goes, I'm proud of the work that you guys did on this road budget for sure.
And Joel did put
And
together
Joel.
most of
That's
the
true.
numbers. And when Tara and I were working on it after he had met with Tara, I questioned a few numbers. We contacted him, we talked about it, we tweaked some numbers, and
That's what
it
you're
worked
supposed
out
to do.
great.
That's what you're supposed to do.
No, we
I
had a
think the
great,
breakdown works much better too,
Oh, me too.
compared to what it used to be like.
Yeah, you can actually understand it.
You can understand it. It's-
and if you have any.
It is very nice. And you can see what you're looking at and, yeah, I think.
And not an extra 800 papers. That's
Right.
the problem, is sometimes I think you're given too much
many.
to look at all at once. And whenever you guys do have questions, please reach out, because we can.
Right.
Anybody have anybody else have any comments on the road budget portion? Any questions? You have anything you're seeing you don't like or whatever? Now's the time.
I did want to say this is available online under the agenda. There is a link. You can view the road fund and the general fund worksheets that the board is looking at currently.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody.
Can you, on our website, will you make that correction?
Yes.
For the 300
We will,
versus
I'll have
3,000?
it done in the morning.
Right, I
And
just-
then I'll just,
Yeah.
yeah, take
Perfect.
this one.
And
off,
then
put
we'll
the new one on.
resend you the new sheet.
I just want to make sure we're very accurate.
Yep,
Thank you.
absolutely.
So am I reading it correct that it's about a 3% increase over last year? Is that correct?
That's what I got, Bob. When I did the math, it was just about a 3%.
And just to be clear, that the cost for this year is just understated by 2,700, and that's what's going to get corrected.
Yep.
And this includes, the 5%.
I was just gonna ask that, was it 3 or 5 or 4? So 5% increase?
Because after talking with Joel, my understanding is that there was a 5-year plan to do 5% every year to bring them up $1. Each
Okay.
year to get a $5, to get them more in line where other towns are.
Okay, perfect.
Yep,
But we were working on retention when we were going there.
yep,
Yeah, exactly, which is what we want to do.
Right.
exactly.
Right, get a quality employee, you want to retain them. At least that's my goal. And that's this board's goal from what I've seen, no matter what.
And everything
Plain and
is
simple.
out of control for expense right now.
If there's nothing else on the road budget, nobody else has any comments or questions or whatever, let's move to the general fund.
But should you open it up for public comment? Because we're on this.
What is the board's pleasure? That's a good point, Angie. Do you want to open up public comment?
In case
on the
there's
road
somebody out
budget?
there
If
that
there's any
has a
questions,
question
or-
about the road.
Yeah, why not?
James,
Just for the-
Bob, what is your feeling on that?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Do you want to open up for public comment?
Because it's a budget work session. But it's okay to let them come.
Well, but this is actually a regular select board meeting instead of a
It's
budget work session, so it's a little.
Yeah,
I
it's a
see your
little
point.
different.
If it was a work session, then
Session,
your
we would
point's
not-
totally
yeah.
correct, I wouldn't. Open up for public comment on the road budget. Are you okay with that, Bob? I mean, everybody else seems.
Yeah, I am. I saw a hand up a second ago.
If it was a work session, I wouldn't do it, but if being a regular select board meeting, even though it is budget stuff, I think it's probably a good idea. Hannah, and we're gonna try to limit it to 3 minutes if we can, please. Who?
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Jim Kosis, North Mason Hill Road. Hey, I just want to say thank you for this nice budget. And my only question is on the buses, I see them parked over the school. Who owns the buses now and are they insured while they're over at the school? Thank you.
I'll answer that. Yep, the buses are owned by Dufour and they are insured, on our, the Dufour insurance policy, without any trouble whatsoever. 100% insured.
Thank you.
But the point being is that it had nothing to do with the town though, correct?
That's correct. They are buses used to, transport Pownell children, K through 12. And, they are just housed there. The drivers drive out of Pownell or Stanford or wherever, so.
I think he was a little confused thinking that those were our old buses. Those are not our old buses. Those are your buses that you use for.
They're Dufour buses.
Dufour buses. That's what I meant. For transporting the
My name's
kids.
Gardner, sweetie.
Okay. Transporting-
Are
Not sitting in there. That's correct. That's what I wanted to point out.
Actually, that is correct, Angie. I thought there were our 3 buses that we still had, so.
No.
Okay.
No, they're all gone.
Thank you for clarification.
You're welcome.
If there's nothing else on the road budget, is there any other public comment, Hannah? Sorry. Okay, let's move into the, general fund budget review and discussion.
I'm more proud of this one.
I want to I'm gonna open this up with the bottom line. And Ellen, you didn't give me the small numbers on this one.
It is.
Right there,
It's at the top.
right there. So this is the amount to be raised by taxes.
Okay. Budget fiscal year 2023, $604,081.37. Budget for fiscal year 2024, $551,886.37. Now, before we go any further, yes, I am incredibly proud to present this budget as it appears right now to the taxpayers of the town of Pownell.
Yes.
And I'm proud of the people who worked on it. I'm proud of the board for the stuff that we've done in the last year to bring this budget forward and to, for the things that we've accomplished in this town in the last, 365 days or a year or whatever we've accomplished to be able to bring this budget forward. You guys did a hell of a job, period. At this point, I'd like to open it up to anybody else. Any questions, concerns, comments that you guys have as a board? Tara, Ellen, anything, where, I guess, let me ask a question. Without looking at it, and I know where the answers are, where's our savings? Where was our big cuts?
There is no municipal office fund
Okay,
that we had gotten rid of. That was only created to build the building.
Okay,
And
yep.
the rest of it is being done with the ARPA. So that is out. There's no 50,000 because we had been doing 50,000 a year for that.
Right?
The other places, where did we, that's
Because-
because that brings it to 60.
That brings,
You know what I mean?
That's
So-
right, but there's also.
But there's
also a
revenues.
general 3% budget
Budget.
increase period for other uncontrollable expenses.
Expenses, yep.
So we cut it another 3% on top of the
On top
50,000.
of, and it's
That's
just,
basically the cut.
And
right.
it still includes the increase, the wage increase.
And it still includes wage increases. And the transfer station portion is in the general fund.
Our property and casualty insurance went up also.
And that did go up and that's in there, but other stuff came down, some of the revenues. We had increased, I think, if I remember, we did decrease some, increase some. It depended on what was happening to date and what happened the previous year. And just the overall accounting setup that Tim and I had worked on before, some of the stuff doesn't have to be in here anymore because like the delinquent tax penalty dumps into a liability account now. It doesn't have to come in as a revenue, out as an expense, and you're not trying to offset all these numbers. It's done the way it's supposed to be done. A lot of the funds have money in them, so we didn't have to ask for so much. The only thing I do know, and we found out after we had done this, is, and I can't remember what that's under the listers, the reappraisal fund, the listers are working on are some of their stuff on their side, the assessor and the assessor clerk, because we are like, I can't remember, is it CO?
It's like 0.53 or something. We're
Yeah, 20.53 COD, whatever it is. I can't remember all, I don't some of the assessor stuff, and I can't remember the abbreviations and what they stand for. Anyway, we're just shy, and listen, I don't want to learn that job.
I'm kidding.
We're just a smidge over where we could be forced to do a reappraisal in the next few years. A lot of that has to do with all the sales that happened during COVID and stuff, where interest rates were down and people were buying stuff for 3 times what they're worth, and so it's just thrown everything off in the town. Because we were like 103. What is that called?
It's.
Anyway, it
Right.
just threw all the numbers off because of all the high purchases. So they're checking some other stuff out. We're trying not to have to do a reappraisal right away. So the reappraisal account, maybe next year, we may have to put more money into it than we did this year. We have a couple $100,000 in there. Don't know how much a reappraisal will be. So we did put some money in there, but just to bug in your guys' ears, because
It could happen.
it could happen. Yep. And the only other thing that I was a little concerned with was, and that's why I made this, was the transfer station.
Yep.
It's always run more expenses than revenue. The gap's getting bigger. It will get bigger. It's gonna get bigger, because of the cost to get rid of the trash. And so I think we had budgeted to increase the permits, the revenue in increasing the permits, but I think really, and Tara too, you need to go over that,
the fees. And
the fees.
get them more in line with what we're being charged.
I saw that email earlier today.
So for example, TAM's charging us $40 for a mattress. We're only charging between 16 and 18. So
So we're taking a hit on
we're
that.
taking.
A big
yeah,
hit.
A big hit.
And so, and there's other things. I asked Tom to get me an updated list. And then I also asked him to clarify if all of the things we're taking for free, do we
saw that.
dispose of them free? To sort of see like, okay, should we start charging for some of the stuff that we were taking free before? And where can we come up, in the fees?
So what my theory is, and I know it's hard to make people pay more to get rid of their trash, But I can tell you right now, it's very expensive to have a dumpster to get rid of your trash also.
absolutely.
I know, because I have one.
Right. And they've gone up
And
considerably.
they've gone up considerably and now they charge for fuel.
Yes.
So no matter how you look at it, we have to pay to get rid of our trash.
Right.
To not have to pay so much, then people can recycle. They can break down their cardboard, they can clean their plastic, and they can recycle, then they're not dumping so many bags and they don't have to pay for so many bags. I mean, it's up to the person to make their cost less by doing the other things that we have set up over there.
Right.
Doing their part, exactly. So my theory is you can actually probably, we can probably show more revenue if that's something you're gonna do. We don't have to do that this evening.
Right.
I'm just, if you do that before you vote on the budget and you come up with some numbers, then we could increase the 100-2900-0000 number, which is the revenue for the transfer station. That should be on the second page, halfway down.
Yep, gotcha.
The transfer station fees, we upped them to 61,000 from 60,000 last year because they've been running over 60,000. Our fees have been coming in over 60,000. So I put it to 61 and we increased the permit of the stickers. It says transfer station stickers from 18,000 to 25,000 because of the increase in the cost of the sticker that will start in July. Okay.
Which we've already voted on that.
Yeah. So if, you know, and it's not a big deal. If you don't increase, you don't have to increase it this year, but you don't have to increase the revenue line if you guys don't decide on prices before the budget is set. It will just be extra revenue. And then next year we'll budget accordingly. But just things to think about.
I think this is something, I don't think we should put this on the back burner too much, the transfer station, okay?
No, because it's
I think we
costly.
should, that's right, the transfer station is costing us a considerable amount of money every year. And it looks like the offset this year, so far,
So this year right here.
right, so far fiscal year 23 is $28,451. So far, short already.
And we have to go until June,
And then we have
correct?
to go another 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're halfway.
Okay, so basically,
That could,
And we've already sold
That could
most
be
of our
doubled.
permits.
right, so basically, we're gonna be $56,000 short.
It's gonna be doubled.
If, you know,
At least, yep.
give or take, right?
Yep.
Okay, you know, you have 6 months and 6 months, so. And I think your projected 102 is probably not that far
So
off.
this 102 for FY '24 budget is because his expenses are budgeted at 180,
Yep.
350.
Yep.
And his revenue is budgeted at 78,
No,
250.
right, I see that.
So,
So right
That's
now,
the difference.
right now fiscal year
Yes.
24 is budgeted,
right,
the way it's budgeted, and it's a budget,
Right.
right? We all know that, it's not written in stone. You're over $100,000 short on fiscal year 23. I think as a board, we need to
do what we can.
do what we
bring it
can to
in.
bring that down.
Absolutely.
narrow it in. I mean, the generals
that in.
always help cover so we can keep our transfer station for the people of Pownell.
I think Tom, and I want to say that I think Tom does a fantastic job.
Absolutely.
With what he has and the employees.
Absolutely.
And everything else. Has
But he doesn't
no
have-
reflection on
No,
Tom
none.
He has no
whatsoever.
control over what the work is doing, and
That's
what the
right.
cost is right now.
That's right.
And Tom really is trying to.
He is
And
trying.
trying to not charge.
And I get that,
that's what you-
but we have to,
I get that too.
it's a double-edged sword.
We have to find that balance.
That's right.
because
And I do know, I mean, we have a free dump day line, and I do know that some of the mattresses and stuff fall under there.
Yeah.
When he uses that as one of, when they haul away a lot of the extra stuff, because they have different bins, they got.
Right.
Sometimes those go under the free dump day, but still, and it's nice to still allow the people to have their one free dump day, with their, whatever it is, a truckload or whatever.
Yep.
It
Right,
does
I think
help
we need-
people.
I think we need
that's a
to-
great thing,
Right. I think we need to bring Tom in and try to offset this
a little bit.
shortfall.
To get the rest of it.
And I think we need to work hopefully, obviously with the March election, hopefully the next board continues to work. Because I don't think we can make up 102 grand here without all at once, okay?
Yeah.
But if we make up 20,000 or something like that,
Right.
and then another 20 in another year, okay?
And part of Tom's expense that's under his is, don't look at the revolving loan, because that is not included in this. I took those numbers out.
Right.
Oh, okay, so under the 100-5, which is page, it should be like page 6 or 7. It's 7, page 7. So page 7, the solid waste implementation plan just goes up.
Yeah.
So, and that's something that I don't know zero about. Tom's explained it to you guys before. I've been here, I've tried to follow it.
Right.
That was something we didn't used to have to do. So there's, 25,000 easy every year.
Right.
That that's part of this over expenditure only because we're forced to have to do it. We're required to do it. So that's not.
Right.
Right, that's out of control. You can't make that, that's something that just part of the general fund, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
But it has to
I
do with
just
the
want to
transfer
be, I just
station.
want to be crystal clear that and I don't want to speak for the board, but I'm going to speak for myself. This is no way, shape or form something that Tom has
Any
Control.
any control over. So this is something that the board has control over with these fees. And it's going to be our responsibility to try to bring that shortfall
Up.
make the shortfall less.
Less, that's what I meant.
Right, I know.
Bring the revenue up. I know what you
Revenue up there, so our shortfall is less.
Less,
Absolutely,
exactly.
Angie. So,
But besides that, I think,
any,
And hopefully the
major
residents of
other-
the town will realize and understand why they have to pay a little bit more.
they will if they have a dumpster, because I realize.
Well, not just that, is the people that are having trash services, like you saying dumpster, they know there's not a lot of game in town for competition. And so we're at the same liberties as
Right,
they are, they're doing private pickup.
yep.
so let's put that on the agenda for our next board meeting, okay? We'll make that in there, please. Just so we can work on that before we finalize the budget. Maybe if we make it a $10,000 or $12,000 or $20,000 difference, it's a $10 or $12 or $20,000 difference.
Right.
We're not gonna make it all up, but we know that.
No, but something.
Any more discussion on the general fund? Any questions? Bob, you have anything? Been pretty quiet up there.
Yeah, no, I don't have any questions. I was running through it and I can see where some things have gone up and others have gone down. I did want to make a comment on, one of the things we have to be careful of, and one of the reasons we try to keep the cost of the transfer station as low as possible, is that we've done a lot of work on enforcement and other things for illegal dumping. And we don't want to do something that's going to incentivize more illegal dumping.
Exactly.
So we
That's why I
really
said
have to
There's a
be careful.
fine line.
A fine line, double-edged sword.
But I think if we compared maybe to other towns also,
Yeah.
to see where they stand with their fees, because every town has the same problem with dumping. I've seen it. It's unfortunate, but we can hope. Like I said, if people squash up their cardboard and don't put it in their garbage and wash out their cans and their plastic, you dispose of that for free.
Right.
Well, I think Tara's on the right track here too.
With the,
With the email you sent earlier today about the things that we take for free that cost us to get rid of.
Right.
If there is anything in here, then maybe we, okay, so let me just pick something. Let me,
The tube lights.
the tube lights.
We're taking them for free, but I think we have to have the special packaging or something. I would have to check with Tom. But I'm pretty sure we purchased special packaging to put those in.
Which costs
So
us
therefore,
money.
it's not free for
Right.
us to dispose.
Right, that may be where we offset some of that cost on some of
Right.
these things. Like I was gonna point out propane tanks without a valve for free. where does that go? Does it cost us to get rid of it? Where, and if it costs us $10 to get rid of one propane tank, maybe we charge $3 for it. And it's
Right.
not, we're
And I
never gonna
do
make it
know-
up, but it does offset, okay?
Some of I know that, like the batteries, I think we take batteries
We
for
do,
free.
yep.
Tom takes them and gets us money for them.
Right.
Well, some of that stuff, that's
Some of that
right. No,
he
that's
can
right.
take out,
That's right.
get
That's
money
right.
in.
And I don't, I think
Yeah.
that's fine. I think that's great.
We
But
don't
if-
get a lot, you don't get a lot, but when he
But if
gets so
we're,
many,
if we're paying to get rid of some of this stuff and taking it for free,
We
then,
need to
then we need to offset a little bit. I think
Absolutely.
that's something we can look at, and that's something we need to look at.
So a lot of the glass and the mixed recyclables, at one point, we're getting paid for it. We're getting paid for it anymore.
Well, the mixed recyclables were charged now, $200 for 30 yards.
Right, so that's where,
Right.
Anything else on the general budget, general fund budget?
again,
Once again, incredible job.
very well.
please take these home and read, compare 2023 to 2024. Look for more typos for me.
Okay, yep.
Because we have looked them over and she just happened to catch that one.
Yep.
And it happens every year. And we sat together and did it and it's still, and read them over at the same time. Read them to each other and still missed it.
That's
So,
okay, you're doing numbers. Numbers.
but we have time to correct anything at this point in time.
And this is with the proposed, increase in wages. Exactly how, okay, I just want everyone.
What was
to
the
learn that.
percent?
Exactly as I sent it to you.
Pensions.
4%.
4%, okay.
And then there was a couple different ones that were noted on the spreadsheet.
If there's nothing else from the board, or Tara or Ellen, I'd like to open the general fund budget up for public comment. Okay. Jim?
Hi, Jim Kosis, North Mason Hill Road. First of all, I love your discussion on the landfill. My only thoughts, and just so to put it out there, is I take my rubbish up there and I pay for the transfer fees and everything like that to dispose of my garbage. Those that don't use the landfill, that are basically using their own pickup things, that's their choice, but that's their choice to get rid of their garbage or whatever you want to call it. The bottom line is, I don't mind. I think the town should pay because we have a landfill for the labor and then that $25,000 waste there. So that's about $80,000 there that the taxpayers are all sharing as a whole, that I think would works out for me, because I think it's a fair breakdown for everyone. Second item, I just want to make sure, has the audit for fiscal year 22 been done yet, Ellen?
No,
Okay. I'd like to see if we can just get back to the point of having the auditors come and review the audit. I'm not sure if it's happened in the past. With so much going on with COVID, I may have missed it or anything like that, but
we are working, Jim, we are working on getting an auditing company in here.
Yeah,
okay,
we
I'm
may-
sorry.
we may
Give
have
me a
to go
minute.
together.
Sorry, hold on, Ellen. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I'm not sure, whenever it does come up, I understand it takes time for an audit. So I do just like to have it put on the agenda or a question when they do come. I still have a little problem with the delinquent tax salary being put into the liability account and then paid out of the liability account. I'm still a little confused on that, and I just need a little education on that. If it's a new thing that is happening, I'd like to just make sure that the auditors, outside auditors, not our accounting firm or an accounting assistants or associates, whatever. But I just like to make sure I understand how it is being recorded as a labor, but then also we have to pay for FICA on that. And then we also are paying, I think, for municipal retirements, which are all expenses. So I'm just confused on why it is not falling into an expense. And I'd rather have the auditors at the time that they finish the fiscal year 22 explain it to me as the professionals that we hire. Thank you very much.
Do you guys know why?
I don't even want to address that right now.
Okay.
This is not the time to address that.
Thank you.
I'd rather, this is a budget,
Work
review.
And it did
and
start in
discussion.
FY '22.
Where it's a budget review and discussion. That's certainly a discussion piece. But I don't want to address that right now.
Thank you.
I definitely don't want to. I would like to just, move on. Anybody else have anything on the general fund, budget review? And once again, you know, I want to say, I do want to say this. I want to say, man, when we have a budget that goes up, man, people rip us.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Right? Man, we have a budget that went down. I haven't. Yeah, okay, enough said. Anybody else on the general fund?
Just a final, Ellen, remember the CSV file you used to send me a long time ago when I was doing the newsletter?
You're really making me think, not really, what do you mean?
There was a CSV file and every month you would send me a
Expenditure?
No, it was a total budget file. And I would just report against in the newsletter, I would report against where we sat against the budget. I just put it.
Yeah, expenditures versus actual.
Right, and I updated
the
it once
total.
a month and you were extracting some file that you were sending me. And I was
Probably
wondering if,
expenditure.
Yeah.
well, let me put it a different way. The general fund that we currently have that we got at a PDF for, can you send me the either spreadsheet or CSV version of that? That's really all I'm looking for, because I think that's gonna help. It'll help me look for anomalies, you know, because then I could do something programmatically to take a closer look at things that have changed more than X%. And it just to be, it's right in line with your getting more eyes on it.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
You just want an Excel spreadsheet, right?
Yeah, Excel. If it was CSV, it would open in Excel. And that's fine. I think that's how it comes out of the system.
It comes either or, so, yep,
Yeah, Excel is fine. Excel is preferred, actually.
okay, perfect.
Perfect. If there's no more discussion on the general fund, I'd like to entertain a motion to enter into executive for personnel.
So moved.
Second it.
All those in favor, Ian,
Aye.
Jamie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Mike, aye. Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you, Ellen.
You're all welcome, guys.
Good night. Have a good night, honey.
Are we good, Hannah? Everybody's in? I'll entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
All in favor, Angie,
Aye.
Jamie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Mike, aye. And so I'd like to open up for public comments, if there is any.
Don't see any hands up.
Hands up.
Nobody with their hands up? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Angie,
Aye.
Jamie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Brian.
Aye.
Mike, aye. Thank you everyone for attending tonight. Great job.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Bob.
Night, Bob.
Aye.